Hi everybody. So today I'm going to demonstrate to you guys, hopefully boost everybody's confidence and show that you could spend the night out with just a little bit of gear that you carry with you and an engine blanket in the winter in Alaska and not freeze. You'll make it, and it probably won't even be that uncomfortable. So today it's about 16 above Fahrenheit and it is 17:15 local time. So I've got just the gear, my normal clothes that I'm wearing to work in the winter. I've got a down jacket, boots, long johns, lined pants, and polar fleece underneath. I've got my headlamp, a couple pairs of gloves, and I've got a woolly hat along here somewhere too. Alright, let's take a look at the other stuff that I brought. You can see over there I've got gloves, a woolly cap, a headlamp, and my Leatherman, the engine cover, and a backpack. Let's take a look at the backpack. Okay, some of you guys I've shown what I put in my backpack before. I've got winter stuff in here now. I'm going to empty it and we'll see what's in there. So there's another down jacket, another woolly hat, face mask. There's some dried cherries and almonds, my standard snack in the aircraft. Here's a pair of polar fleece pants. A pair of pretty thick mittens. Here's my snow shirt. It's just a real thin layer. It'll break the wind. It goes over everything. It's way oversized. A Cliff Bar, neck gaiter. Another pair of long johns. Another pair of gloves. And then here's my tin can. Nothing special there. It's got a metal cup in it with some matches. They're called hurricane matches. Wadded underneath there is some old wax paper. Then here's the tin can. It's got more matches, some cord. There's a little bit of instant coffee, a candle, a piece of paracord, and there's some seine twine. And here's my standard tin can. Somewhere I thought I had a piece of wire as well. Anyway, that's it. That's what I have to work with. Okay, a few more things that I carry in that backpack that were down in the bottom. One is a great big massive military survival knife. That's right there. A mosquito head net. A folding saw. It's really well made with good Japanese steel. It's got about a 7-inch blade. There's another container of matches. I can't stand being stuck without brushing my teeth. So I've got a toothbrush and toothpaste. And here's my little shrink wrapped pack. Inside I've got, I think, 3 of those space blanket type. It's like a bivy sack. It's like a big 2-person sleeping bag size. I've got 3 of those. I've got some snacks such as granola bars and Slim Jims and some more matches. And the writing's starting to fade, but I also have written on there, first aid kit is in right wing locker, key on orange stick. Just in case somebody found this without me around and they know there might be more stuff in the right wing locker. So that's it, and I got it all in this relatively small, I think it's called a Osprey 22. I think that stands for 22 liters, whatever. It's a relatively small backpack. I mean, believe me, I could find more stuff to pack into it, but this is what I have. This sits really nicely on the co-pilot's seat in the Navajo, and I always think if I had to, I could, if I had to get out of the airplane really quick, it's no big deal to grab that and take it with me. Alright, so here I am in my bag in my little camp. So far so good. It's about 10:30. Haven't gotten cold yet. We'll see how it goes. Okay, here's my little camp. I got up in the wee hours of the morning. It was still dark, and called it quits. None of my batteries were working anymore, so I couldn't film. I did not get cold. I was amazed when I walked into the house early this morning. The temperature there, thermometer showed plus 12 Fahrenheit. It was about plus 16 or plus 18 when I went to bed. And I was out here for a little over 5 hours, which is about as much as I sleep anyway. So I'll tell you right now, I was not comfortable. I was never cold. I never woke up cold. I was always warm enough, but I could not get comfortable. I'd sleep on my back. It would hurt and wake me up. I'd roll onto my hips. They would hurt and wake me up. So I had a fitful sleep, but I didn't get cold. And that was kind of the point, was to just try this stuff out and hopefully demonstrate that I wouldn't freeze. A couple of bright spots is that I did not have on all my gear. I did not put on my snow shirt, my fleece pants. I still had another woolly cap. I still had my warm mittens, and I still had my big outer down jacket. So I did not have all my gear on, and that little setup kept me warm enough. Kind of a failure of this thing was my little super cheap space blanket improvised fire reflector. I couldn't get it tight. It is very flimsy. It's like cellophane. It rips. It's hard to attach to poles. I think if I had a better one, like maybe one of those space blanket tarps with grommets, and I could build a proper frame, take a few hours, build a proper frame, and stretch it tautly within the frame and prop it up just at the right angle, I think it would have worked. But let me tell you what, these $3.75 space blankets that are like the size of a pack of cards when they're folded up, they're about worthless. So here's a little better picture where I slept inside the engine cover. I had that space blanket bivy sack. I actually think it's a 2-person size. I use my backpack for a pillow, and that material on that space blanket bivy sack is it's more substantial. Didn't rip it at all, and it seemed to work pretty good. Here's the remains of my little fireplace last night, and I've got my tin can. It's about a third full of melted water. It's got a skim of ice on it now, but I found one little treat there. I scooped snow. I don't know if you can see it, but right there's a rabbit pellet in there. So I'm glad I looked before I made coffee out of that. My dogs are enjoying roughhousing here at my little campsite. They're happy to have me back. So I pulled the engine covers back, and you can see my bed of spruce boughs down there. The idea there is that even though when they compress, they keep your bedding away from the packed snow surface. So they help protect against conduction heat loss. Now that bough bed was about 6 inches deep when I started, and now it's been squashed down. It's only about 2 inches thick, so it didn't really add anything for comfort, but it did help in losing heat, preserving heat. Okay, so the engine covers might look like sleeping bags, but let me tell you right now, they are not sleeping bags. I got the kind of the poofiest one I could find. And, you know, if it's what you have, it's what you have. But I just don't see... I really think the space blanket helped me more preserving the heat than the engine covers. Because pretty much every time I woke up in the middle of the night and I was not cold, the engine cover was off the top of me. It was just a space blanket on top of me and around me and keeping me warm. So the engine blanket, you know, it did provide some padding and insulation underneath, but as far as insulation of my whole body, I don't think it did much.